Hello everybody and welcome to this part number 57 of the Arduboy dev stream. So I have fixed some bugs outside of the video, so I will show you that. And also I have improved the victory screen and the game over screen. And I think today we will try to work on the main menu, because for now it's just a text, so we should try to make something more nicer, more beautiful, I guess. All right, so let me show you what I've fixed. Last time I finished the stream with the reset not working well when I get the grail. So now we have a grail final item to pick up. If we pick this item, we win the game. That's the grail. And if I try to play several times, then I was constantly picking up the grail. So the problem was the reset of the rig position, as I expected to be. And why? It's because in the check for respawn, I'm checking if I'm alive or not. So that means I need to be set as dead. Okay, so to fix the bug in the reset function of Rick, I can just set the animation to death, and which means after this, the is alive will be false, and this will be correctly reset. So the X and Y will be correctly reset for Rick. That's quite easy. Also fix another bug which is linked here. The start icon was overridden with this variable, so that means in the reset I should set to 0, and then the start icon would be reset to 0 when I restart a new game. So the bug was finally not difficult, and I moved this initialization into the reset function. All right. The next modification I've done is I've added the grail image. So I've renamed the statuette also, statue into statuette, and I've added the grail image like this. And yeah, so here I just drew the grail now, and just add it into the sprite data. Nothing fancy here. Alright, the next thing I've done is to finalize the rendering of the vector screen by displaying the grail. I wanted to add the grail on the final screen. So basically I've just make the update shine star public, so I can also use this in the victory screen. And I've added these two parameters, X and Y, so I can specify where I want the star to shine. And accessorily, it's also more optimized because I don't need to compute it 2 times here. I can just compute it 1 time here. So yeah, it's better. And in the map data, in the map data, I have made the grail as an external variable, and that means we must have 1 grail in the game. Okay, that is a mandatory instance. If we have no grail, we cannot finish the game. So there's 1 instance, and that should be just 1 unique instance. And I make it extern so that I can also use it in the main menu. So yeah, just remove this value, put directly here, and here I just draw a grail, and I use the grail instance to update the shiny star, and yeah, just tuning some stuff here. I will show you the result after a while. yeah, maybe I can show you now. Let's okay, so if I pick up you can see the Grail sprite. If I pick it up, then I also display it on the victory screen, and I also display the number of statuettes now. So the number of statuettes that you pick. All right. So the next change I've done is maybe you have noticed. I can show you again. I trigger the shutter animation when I pick up the grail, so not just immediately cut to the victory screen. To do that, there was not a lot of change, so I thought I should do it. Instead of just changing the game state directly in the grail function here, I instead call a function init wait for respawn on the rig. Why I'm doing this? Because so I have made this function public, and I have created a function for rig. So here, which set the state for respawn, and then restart the last checkpoint. Call the function on the map manager to start the shutter animation actually. So I've created a function init for respawn that's doing exactly the same thing. Change the state, and I also have renamed this function like start shutter animation, which is more correct. And the reason why I put also the rig into wait for respawn is that when you have pick up the grail, the player should not move again or continue to move or to die, risk to die if he moves, and so on. So in the map manager, I just rename restart to last checkpoint by a start shutter animation. This is a rename, and here so I need the grail, and okay, maybe let's see that later. So, and the restart last checkpoint, that was this. Now I just rename it, move it here, and rename it start shutter animation. That does exactly the same. We do this, and also here in the reset function of the manager, I also reset the two variables for shutter 8 and shutter direction, and I reset with this value, so I don't need to set with this value here. And why I'm setting this value, because if you set with this value, then the shutter will open, which means we also have the opening now when you start the game. Before it was also directly the game. So now after you press play from the main menu, you have the shutter opening. And the little change is here. When the animation is finished, normally we were supposed to call to teleport and respawn the checkpoint. But now I'm checking again if our unique grail instance is alive or not. If it's not alive, that means the player has picked it up, and that means it's a victory. So in that case, I can change the game state to victory. Otherwise, it's just death and respawn. I can just respawn. So that's a minimal change here, as you can see, and then we can benefit of the shutter animation when you pick up the grail. Let me show you again on the Arduboy. If I do it here, so here you have seen we have the shutter opening animation, and if I pick it up, the shutter is closing, and then you have your end screen. All right, so next change is obviously in the editor. So now that the editor is unique, and that we have a unique grail, I needed to do some change in the editor. So obviously first I added the Grail, so the Grail image, just loading the Grail image, and in the item add all the Grail for the enum type and all the function that need to do something with the Grail, like updating the image, updating the instance name, the type, etc. Every switch I add the Grail, nothing fancy here. And for the map, that's basically the same. I just add this here. I include the header file, so yeah, add the Grail include, and that's it. We had the Grail in the editor. The last change I've done was also in the editor. So now that we have the Grail as the final goal, I just realized that we don't need to place a checkpoint and for locating the last puzzle screen. Actually, the last puzzle screen can just be the screen that contains the Grail, the unique Grail, right? This is the goal of the game. You have to reach that screen where the Grail is and then you have to pick up that Grail. So I thought, okay, just let's remove that from the editor, the checkpoint and just replace by the Grail. So image provider, in the get rig image, I get rid of the respawn type hand and tune a bit the color. In the item, I just remove the response type hand, not hand but hand, but end. Sorry. And here I also don't need the is last screen, and I don't need to write the commented checkpoint, because now I won't write the commented checkpoint. Actually, the Grail will be written in the last screen, so that can just, it's a kind of revert of the code here. And here in the main form, obviously when you click on the button to change the type of rig, I don't need to cycle with the end. And here, so okay, that's the designer form, nothing special. On the Rex also, I think nothing special. Just I changed the icon, so I changed the icon to have only 2 colors instead of 3. In the map itself, there is probably more change, so the is last screen is not needed anymore. And then the type here before was passing the type for getting the start or end puzzle screen. Now we don't have the end anymore, so I just pass a Boolean flag to tell if it's a start or the end. And if it's the start, I'm searching a rig. If it's the end, I'm searching a Grail. So yeah, that's just change the type of the item I'm searching in. And if it's a start, the type also need to be of respawn type start, of course. So that changed here from true and false, and this is the call. Okay, we don't need. And also here, when we are loading the file, I don't need I don't have the type end, so I don't need to change to load and set that type anymore. And the Grail will be automatically loaded, so there's nothing special to do here. And also I've changed a bit the comment for the error string. With before it was the end rig respawn point. Now we need a Grail in the map. So if there is no Grail, there is an exception, right? And yeah, that's the change of the image. All right, then I have done more. I will show you the editor after. I've done more change in the editor. Here I throw an exception if we are trying to place more than one Grail in in the map. So obviously I can just catch it. I don't care about it. I just want to have the error message in the log window. Yeah, also catch it if I load a map with several grail. And here, when you add an item, if it's a specific, if it's a grail item type, then I can, and if there's already one in the map, then I can throw the exception saying there can only be one grail in the map. Right, so obviously that's a new error message. And yeah, new error message which is here. All right, so so let me show you the new editor. So yeah, so now we still need to edit this. So now we have the grail here that I can place. If I try to place a second one, I have the error message saying there can only be one. If I select it, I can move it, of course. And if I select this, I can change, but only 2 type now, not 3 type of respawn point. All right, so yeah, there it is. And then after, the last thing I've done is after finalizing the init screen, the victory screen, sorry, I also finalized a bit the game over screen. That one was maybe a bit use a bit more code. So basically, yeah, I needed cursor parameters, which is in the Arduboy, so I just created the accessor for it. And then in the main menu, I needed some more variable for making an animation. I will come back to that later. So I also factorized the draw stat rate count because I want to draw it in victory and in game over. In game over, I can also tell you how many stat rate you collected. So yeah, just tune a bit here, the position and all that stuff. And here in the draw game over, so I just basically draw again the sprite of Rick, and I play its dead animation. I didn't want to go through the Rick state machine because there is some extra code that when he's dead, if he leave the screen, then he respawn and all that stuff. So I don't want to have that. And yeah, I added some more text saying you died and blah blah blah. All right, and then we have the init that just init the sprite, this 3 variable, and this 3 variable need to be reinit every time we go to game over. So basically, I decided to reinit them here when we start a new game, so it stay inside the main menu. Yeah, I thought it was more localized here, and that does the same, just reinit those variable. Yeah, by the way, I could have deleted these 2 initializations since now I'm doing it here. All right, so let's I will show you what happens if I die. So in this build I only have 1 life. There's a little bug about the draw when we draw a sprite outside of the screen. I guess it's in my extended function that I created the bug, or maybe it's an optimization that I've done. Let me write it down. Okay. Uh, I don't reset the variable, so when the y loop, then the the sprite is coming back again and again, and I'm fine with that, and I don't want to fix it. Um, yeah, and yeah, I think it's you're becoming a little angel. So I thought it was quite funny. All right, so that's it. So today I want to uh, work on the main menu, which is for now there's only play music. There's only two things, and what I had in mind is to I wanted to draw a kind of cave background decoration, and of course I would like to reuse as much as possible the sprite that we have. I also like the stalagmite with the dropping water drop. I think it's quite nice. So I try to think about how to do that, and maybe without creating too much code, with probably reusing as much as we can, and also that leads me to another thing, which is the camera of the map manager is currently is not correctly reset or not even correctly initialized. So if right now it's working because the camera is initialized with I guess 00. So let me yeah in the map manager. So yeah, the camera coordinate are initialized with 0. So that's the top screen. But if in the editor we start with another screen, which is not the top 100, then this variable are not correctly initialized. We should initialize the camera coordinate when we start a new game with the location of the first screen, right? Or we can maybe force the first screen to be a certain screen. That's also possible. So I'm thinking maybe we can reuse. I would like to reuse the draw function of the map manager. This draw function. Actually, maybe we could even call the update of the map manager if we place some stalagmite inside the map. So we could have a first screen which is pretty empty, and without the rig, of course, without the character inside, but with some sprite, some level sprite to draw, and potentially with some items also, like some stalagmite. And then when we start the game, then we can initialize the camera to the first screen properly, And that means also in this reset function, we could also, instead of starting from the current puzzle screen, instead of starting with 0, could be 1 if we consider the first screen as the main menu screen. So I'm not totally sure that's a good idea to do that, but maybe that could work. Maybe that could be not that heavy to do. And yeah, obviously also in the menu we won't update the HUD, maybe just update the map manager. And maybe we can have parameters of the reset function to reset from screen 1 or reset screen 0 or reset screen 1. Yeah, let's try that. So start screen ID. So item to count, of course, it's 0 is the item array. Last checkpoint puzzle screen ID, current checkpoint puzzle screen ID, farthest puzzle screen, yeah, it's the same. Direction is 1. Last puzzle screen edge coordinate, so it's 0, 0. So maybe that one, these parameters has to be also initialized. It's linked with the camera coordinate. So and the camera coordinate are inside char. So start screen camera X and Y. And I guess this should be Y. Last puzzle screen edge called Y. Last checkpoint puzzle screen edge called X. Last puzzle screen edge called X. And last checkpoint puzzle screen edge called Y. They are not correctly organized, I think. But anyway, and this we can leave it like this. Yeah. And then we also need to initialize our screen, even if it's the menu screen. So let's add these parameters into the signature of the reset, and this one is called in the game manager, I think. In the start new game here. And the start new game is is called from the main menu. Here. So when we start a new game, we start with the screen number 1 and the camera. So this is the information that is lacking, that probably the editor should provide. But let's use the one below for now. So let's say 0 and 8 for X and Y. I think this reset function is called only here. Let me check if that compile. Okay, and now I also want to call that reset function when we enter into the main menu. So I guess I will need a function to enter into the main menu. Start new game. Go to main menu. And yeah. So init the map manager with the first screen. And we should also change the game state to main menu. And this one I will make it public here. And that means I will call this instead of just changing the state. So I guess it's update game over. It's in the main menu. It's here. So instead of pressing the button here, we will just go back to main menu in the game manager. Okay, so we go back to main menu, and we should also I guess initialize this, so we can call that in the setup of the I know, I think. Go to main menu. Okay. So I think that's that should be okay. So right now, if I try that, I will probably be able to play inside the main menu, which will be strange because there is the Rick initialized in the main menu. Okay, no, I still don't update the okay, yeah, that becomes a bit messy, of course. So now what I want to do also is to update the manager and the main menu at the same time. So we should be able to see the first okay, and then we play with the second screen, but of course our main character is not initialized. What is strange is why I don't see the first screen. We'll see the shutter opening and then everything disappear. Ooh. Yeah, there is some strange stuff happening. Okay, I think let's fix our map data first. But okay, the editor is not helpful here, and I first want to make sure that that can work. That's a good idea or not. Doesn't seem like a good idea so far. All right, so we don't have two screens. We don't have two screens. Just one. Ah yes, because the grail is in the. Let me reload the map and move the grail to at least have 3. To have 3 screens. I will move also here and I save it. Dead end detected. Dead end? Where? 16.0? Yeah, but this one is okay. Let's. The grail is here, so you should stop where the grail is. Save. The editor is buggy. Let's move the grail here. Okay. We we bypass the bug. That's what do we have? We have 2 screen, I guess. No, we just have one because the start and the end. Let's try again. Let's do that. Can I export that? Yeah, that works. And then we have, yeah, we have 2 screens. Okay. Okay, so what I will modify this temporarily in the screen 0. I will move the checkpoint here, and then I should put that to 74. All right, so I move the checkpoint to here. Let's try again. I still don't understand why I don't have my the camera doesn't seems to be initialized correctly. That's strange. So now we have our menu, but inside the screen 1, not the screen 0. So we have forget a lot of stuff, I guess. All right, so let's think about it again. So in the I know, we called go to main menu in the game manager. In game manager, go to main menu will reset. I forgot to initialize this. Reset the string, reset the screen 0. That's 0 0. And then the state is menu. Okay, let's try again. But we still don't draw the menu. And the camera is very far away. I don't know why. Okay, so anyway, go to main menu. We reset the manager at 0 0. The state is game menu. Main menu. The manager reset. So the current cursor screen ID, this one, the last, the farthest direction here, the start screen camera. Yeah, so we should initialize the camera, which I forgot. I need the current camera. So in the reset, we also need to initialize the camera. So current will be equal to this one. And we should also initialize the target, otherwise the camera will move to 0. So target of y equal this one. So we initialize current and target. We need to initialize all the one transition, or all the rest could be could equal to 0. Okay, let's try this. Oh, we still don't draw first, but now this time we currently draw the first screen. I win. Oh, okay. Now we are drawing it. Cool. And if I play it, okay, cool. So it works, but not the first time. It works, but not the first time. It works, but not the first time. So maybe there's a variable we forgot to initialize. So that's the camera. All these variables are initialized in the reset. Here I'm confused. In the game manager, go to main menu, reset, and the game state is main menu. I can remove that because I initialize it over there. So we update the manager, we update the main menu. And in the main menu update, can change the option, and just if we press the button, we start a new game. And then we draw the main menu. So now the first time is not working, but the second time it works. The first time where is the I know? Init progress, then we go to main menu. Go to main menu, which should init. Let's look at the init function of the map manager. It used the current puzzle screen ID, I think, so. So the current puzzle screen ID will be 0. We need a function. Maybe Maybe the function is not ready in the setup. That would be strange. That's probably the reason. So where can I reset my map manager then? Yeah, I kind of get confused here because obviously that's our first screen, second screen, I finished, I go back to the first screen. But if I just restart from 0, yeah, the shutter is opening. Oh, the camera, the target camera is, yeah, the target camera is moving, I guess. Camera X, okay. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. Current target, current target. Rick is not alive. But the animate function, yeah, what is maybe problematic is that Rick is not alive. Should I reset? No, I don't want to reset Rick. This is something with the animation of the camera. So give me the animation. I'm looking at the animation of the camera. Maybe the shutter transition. Because we are starting with we are starting with an animation here. Yeah. So maybe I should put the shutter height to 0 if I initialize with 0. Okay, so let's try that in the reset function. Start screen ID equals 0, then initialize with 0, otherwise initialize with this. Let's try that. Doesn't help. And the camera are still transitioning actually. But we remove the shutter at the beginning, which is not bad. So why? Maybe it's the x and y coordinate of the let's check again the animate function of the camera. If Rick is alive, he's alive. Of Rick is checking that is okay. I can probably initialize this variable. So animate with state. I probably need to keep the initialization here. All right, let's try again. Huh. Okay, the camera doesn't go crazy, but we went to the victory screen immediately. So yeah, obviously that was one of the issue. Keep the initialization here for when the Arduboy is switched on. So we go to the victory screen after the shutter animation, but I think I've just removed the shutter animation, so that's why I get confused here. The shutter height is 0, so we should not go here. And there is no gray in the first screen also. Let me check the reset again. Shutter height, if start screen ID equals 0, then we initialize with 0, otherwise we initialize with the height divided by 2. Yeah, that should work. That you should not animate shutter, then you should not go to the winning screen, victory screen. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. So we, in the update of manager, we update the input of Rick, but we don't care because he's dead. And we animate camera transition, we animate the shutter transition, but in the shutter transition, this one normally equals 0, so nothing happened. Start screen ID 0. Yeah. Where this variable is modified? Yes, we have here in start shutter animation where this function is called. In the init, okay, init wait for respawn of Rick, and where this function is called so in the update of the grail, of course, here, okay, in the update of input of Rick, and when he's dead, I think it's we got it. Yeah, here, and that's okay, decoration. So because he's dead, and so it's the death animation, and then it's not on screen, and then we are respawning. So should we init with wait for respawn? Maybe. Let's try that. That's tricky to reuse the drawing of the map. I think we got it. So if I play, I win, then I go back to here. Okay. Play, I can die. No, I don't want to win. I can probably go back to the first one. That's cheat. There's no spike. Oh. I died, and then when I was dead, I pick up the grail, and I win. That's a small bug. I should not pick up item if I'm dead, if Rick is dead. Two more. Okay, dead. And then I'm okay. Okay, I think it works. So we can try to commit this. And I will fix the bug we just see in the pickup item. So Rick should be alive, of course. Rick is alive, and this. Let's try again. Sorry, camera problem. I think it works. Yeah, clearly it works. Okay. Yeah, let's commit. Let's review what we have changed and maybe commit this. Ah, that's some change. So yeah, we update the map manager in the main menu. We have parameters for the reset. We have a new function to go to main menu. Okay, and in the main menu, we just change that to the function, go to main menu. We have a new map data. Okay, the new parameters for the reset of the map manager, including the reset of the camera. So reset the camera position. I need the camera position in the reset of the map manager, and update, use the map manager update to draw a background in the main menu. And we fix a bug. Bug fix, do not pick up item if Rick is not alive, is dead. And this is the init. And we call the main menu here. Go to main menu here. Okay. All right, let's commit this. And then we can go to the editor to try to do a proper screen. So what I had in mind is something much more light, of course. Can remove all that, I guess. We don't have this stalagmite, but that's fine. Let's remove this. Maybe we can just have, let's say this is our starter screen. Let's put the grail here. And yeah, for the main menu, so something like that, maybe. Nope. Here I want, oh no, I want here. Yeah, this here. Yeah, this is what I want. And maybe here I will do something like this. Here, no, maybe here. Okay. Oops, wrong click. Too long. Okay, something like that probably. Yeah, let's save it. Okay, this is saved. Let's reopen it. Let's test it on the Arduboy. Why? So yeah, yeah, that's normal. So we need to modify our editor. Here the problem is we have our respawn point, starting respawn point in the screen number 2, well, where the start respawn point should be, and so the editor didn't exported the first puzzle screen. So that means we should modify the editor to export this one anyway, and then the second screen to export will be the screen that contains the the start respawn point. And I just noticed that it's not the right, this one is not correct. Yeah, okay. All right, so here first we need to export the screen 0, 0, and then we should do this. So which means we need to refactor this. Wait, maybe no, we just have this function. This is all the pathfinding. So write the init function of the main menu. So that will be screen ID 0 and the coordinate is 0, 0. And then the screen ID start from 1. And yeah, the rest should be okay. So I'm not sure I can reload the, okay, I can reload the map. And let's save it again. Let's see what we have. So screen 0, there's nothing inside, which is good news. And screen 1, we have our first checkpoint. Okay, screen 0, 1, 2. It seems better. Let's try to see on the Arduboy. Okay. Okay, so we have it. Yeah. Now I can move the menu more in the center. Let me check. And now, okay, second screen is working. There's a little bug, by the way, because I cannot go outside here. The little bug is, it's a level design bug. Yeah, we'll enter into the collision and the collision will make me exit, but if I jump, it's okay. Yep. Okay. So let's write the main menu in the center. I think so 64 so 6 12 650 50 something like 50 or 40 46 maybe for the X for the X menu X. And the Y can be a bit lower, but not that lower, like 20, 30, 30, 42. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that's much better. All right, so like I said, I wanted the stalagmite, so let's add the stalagmite in the editor just to have it in the main menu, and then we can stop the stream here. Okay, so image provider. For stalagmite, I guess the image is stalagmite. I'll check. Stalactite, stalagmite, PNG, yes, and there's only one, so I guess I should draw it 2 times in a bitmap to the result, and that's the size is 3 by 8, so be, and there is a space, so 3 6 7 by 8, and okay, I can draw it like 0 0 3 8, and source result. I cannot specify the target in the result, that's not cool. I guess I draw it on the full size. Yeah, full size on the destination. Let's add a destination rectangle. Which could be, not sure if it will compile this by default. Can it? No. Doesn't exist in the context. Okay. This one is a struct. Okay, let's by default make it empty. And if it's empty, if the destination rectangle is empty, use the full result image size. Okay, so then I can create a rectangle for the destination. I want to draw this in 0, 0, 3, 8. And I want to draw a second one, but this time in 3, 0, 4 or 5, 5, 6, 5, yeah, 5, 0, 3, 8. Do I clear the image, the result image? No, I give it as a ref, so yeah. Oh, yeah, I clear it with transparent. Yeah, no, don't do that. Why I'm doing this? I know why, but another parameter. It's not compile time. If I just don't clear it, should be by default should be transparent, I think. Yes, I need default value. Default, right? Is it like this? Yeah, I think it's what should be done. All right, so then I add this to the list. Okay, and what else? I need to add this in the item. Stalagmite. And then we can add what is missing. Get stalagmite image. Okay. So the instance name will be stalagmite. Instance from name. If it's stalagmite, then it's stalagmite. Then write the instance stalagmite plus the instance name. Then progress. Stalagmite can die, so yeah, you should also have the progress. And checkpoint no, and init. Stalagmite doesn't have special flag. Yep, that should be like this. And that's it. Then in the map, we should also add the stalagmite in this list. Let's try it. So let's open it, and if I place, oh, I didn't change the color here. Maybe a bit higher, and maybe here. And let's save it. So we have our 2 stalagmite in the first screen. Okay. Let's try it. All right. Why I don't have the drop of the first stalagmite? I guess because it went below the screen, maybe? Probably. That's a little bug into the update of the drop. But yeah, that's not just something like that, I guess. I think the maybe I just want to adjust the position of the menu. But yeah, maybe more on X should be more on the right. Let's put it at 50. Even more, I think, like 50, 56. Yeah. Yeah, I think something like that. So okay, yeah, the main menu is maybe not perfect. I can adjust this background, but yeah, I think that can works. Like for example, I think the stalagmite on the right should be, yeah, more on the right. And maybe it should be good to have some top one also, top stalagmite, stalactite. Um, yeah, and yeah, just adjust maybe the sprite. All right, so let's commit this change. Um, Adjusting the main menu position. And exporting the new map. With the screen for the main menu. And oh yeah, I removed the transparent here. Let's check if this is still working. Is it still working? So do we have, yeah, we still have transparency. Okay, so yeah, that works. All right, so I can just remove it. Yeah, so give a destination rectangle as potential parameters, so I can draw two in one. Result. Then we have our image here. So add the stalagmite item in the editor, and yeah, obviously we just add it here, everywhere to export it. And here, and then we export the first screen. Okay. All right. I think I will stop here. So yeah, as usual, thanks for watching. So yeah, I think we can have a main menu like that, maybe arrange a little bit. So outside of the video, I will try to make something nice. And obviously that means there's a kind of constraint in the editor, which is the first top screen should be the screen for the main menu. But then the second start screen can be anything, can be just the screen where the start checkpoint is located. And if there is no path from this screen to the main menu screen, then there's no problem, I guess. Yeah, that I hope that will save some memory, and having a main menu that is still interesting to look at. And obviously player will understand that's the main menu. I hope so. Yeah, so it turns out not too bad actually. I was afraid that that was a bit risky to try to do it like that, but I think yeah, after some kind of initialization issue we had, we finally found a way to do it, and at the same time, so we fixed the problem of the camera. No, we didn't really fix the problem of the camera. The camera position is still hard coded in a certain way. When we start the game, in the game manager. Here we hardcode the position of the screen. So obviously, let me write it. The editor should export this. Yeah. And yeah, the editor could, yeah, that's fine. I think editor could also export these two coordinate if we let in the editor place the main menu screen somewhere else. But I think that's fine. We can just use the first top one as the screen for the main menu. So yeah, thank you for watching. As usual, if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below, or question. I will try to answer, and then I will tell you bye bye and see you in the next video. Bye.